responsibility to feed me.
And people start looting, I'm going with them.
There are people like me who cannot work.
One piece of paper would get me denied for food stamps.
Now you can't get lashes, you can't get your hair done.
I'm not touching.
She says it's the taxpayer's job to feed her. 5 days without food, 4,000 followers, and a declined EBT card. Now she's threatening to block the internet if they don't cash app her a meal. Welcome to 2025, where the hunger turns into hashtags, food stamps turn into protest fuels, and Walmart checkout lines become ground zero for the collapse of accountability. Let's get to it.
Now, what do you mean that I'm not gonna get my SNAP benefits? What do you mean? Like me who have kids who cannot eat? Do you understand that?
It is the taxpayer's responsibility to feed me. I got over 4,000 followers. I'm blocking all of y'all.
Every time the system's cut off, the streets turn into a live action episode of Survival, Food Stamp Edition. 5 days without food, and instead of a job application, they're filing complaint videos. And the wild part, she's not alone. People really believe the taxpayer is supposed to be DoorDash on demand.
I spent an hour shopping and now y'all telling me
Everyone
I can't
step
pay?
back.
No.
Let's figure this out, please.
I heard that they was looting stores because people not getting their food stamps next month. And I just want to say, if I am in line to pay for my groceries and people start looting, I'm going with them. Because one, this is a huge inconvenience for your customer. Number two, you worried about the wrong person.
You know it's bad when folks start rehearsing their excuses before they loot. Not, let's fix this. Not, let's call customer service. It's, if the line starts looting, I'm going with them. That's not hunger anymore. That's entitlement with grocery carts.
The help ran out.
Benefits ended.
She picked up a bow.
They took food off our tables. I'm taking it back. Walmart's about to learn you don't mess with the neighborhood.
Disney and Pixar present Shaniqua Hood.
We went from food stamps to future films. Disney could never, but the hood may. Shaniqua Hood, the revenge of the declined card, rated R for AI real life.
Somebody please help me understand why one piece of paper would get me denied for food stamps. I am a single mom of 7 and I just got denied for food stamps because I couldn't get one piece of paper signed saying how much I was receiving from someone for a month. Someone tell me, is this legal? I don't really DoorDash anymore because they don't really make a lot of money, and then I make my t-shirt.
This right here is the system and the streets colliding. One missing paper keeps 7 kids from eating, but you got time to print merch and promote your t-shirt? You can't fax a document, but you can film a commercial? Priority.
I am a working mother, and I work hard. I get taxed a lot, and I don't mind my taxes going to food stamps. I don't mind that shit. I'm okay with hungry children and people busting their ass in bed so they can go to those jobs and be productive, and their kids can go to school and do what they need to do. I was watching this mom, and she is so upset. She works 2 jobs. They cut her food stamps to $12. She was making it work on $150 for her and her kid, and the extra $100 she could pull out of pocket to make it work for them. And honey, they cut her to $12. She said all kinds of people were coming to the office, seniors and shit, getting cut to $20 and shit like that. I'm okay with feeding the elderly. I'm okay with feeding children.
Now you can't get lashes, you can't get your hair done, you can't buy no lobster, you can't buy no crab, you can't go on no trips, you can't have a life because you on welfare or you asking for food stamps. You can't even have no soda, no chips, no cookies, no nothing. Just noodles, and a sandwich.
They say you can't get your nails done, your lashes, your crab legs good because food stamps were never meant to fund self-care Sundays. And you know it's crazy when the food pantry is giving people healthier options than the EBT card.
Food pantry gonna make sure you get what you need, not what you want. They're gonna make sure y'all got canned goods because a lot of people not buying canned goods. It's almost like it's gotten so bad the hood stores accept food stamps for wine. So again, the pantry is what you need. Food stamps.
I get over $2,500 a month in stamps.
I sell them 2,000 worth for about 12 to 1,500 cash. That's why everybody's upset. Folks say we're taking advantage, but that's how we get by.
And that's the frustration we're hearing out here in downtown Atlanta.
Selling $2,000 in stamps for $1,500 cash, that's not survival. That's a side hustle economics. But when survival turns into strategy, you stop fixing your life and start finessing the system. That's why the chaos never ends.
So let me get this straight. So women are now not cooking, not cleaning, what are they doing? And who's trying to wife these women? What is going on?
Then we switch from food stamps to dating because apparently nobody is cooking, nobody is cleaning, and everybody wants to dominate man until he says something.
I love me a dominant man. Not controlling, but dominant. I love being told what to do, just to say no.
That's not femininity, that's emotional dodgeball.
Let me make something real clear for y'all in the comments. I do not date broke men, period. I'm a 10, baby, top to bottom. And 10s, we come with a price tag. If you can't afford me, that's fine. Take a seat with the rest of the haters. But the ones who...
You keep saying you don't date broke men, but a rich one don't want a loud one. And talking about you come with a price tag. Don't sound like a prize to me. Sound more like a product. Or is that prostitution?
If you call yourself a 10, but you can't come up with a price tag, that's not the prize. That's a product. And the reason rich men avoid you isn't intimidation, it's inflation. You can buy peace cheaper anywhere else.
Women say, I just want a guy who's loyal and nice to me. No, you don't. If that's what you wanted, you would have it, because those guys are everywhere. What you really want is a guy who's loyal, nice to you, tall, charming, handsome, funny, rich, really rich, worships the ground you walk on, has a good relationship with his mother, but not too good to where she feels like she can comment on your relationship. Did I miss anything? Oh, rich.
This might offend some people, but that whole BBL, the big old BBL with the big old titties, it's just not cute anymore. Like, to me, it's just not giving. That's just my personal opinion. It's just giving a little ghetto. That whole BBL phase and the body done and this and that. Don't get me wrong, I like the little body done, but there's a way to do it. The whole huge, big old, it's just not really giving classy. It's not giving. I personally think nothing hits more than just a natural body that you take care of and is really like, you just look put together. You look clean. You look classy. You look great. But the big old BBL shit, I don't know.
Tamika, I'm 34. I'm addicted to stealing from Walmart.
She can't stop.
I know it's a crime, but it feels like I can't stop.
Even when she knows it's wrong.
I don't want to live like this no more.
My Strange Addiction.
Check this story out.
I can't believe I just got home.
Ooh, this is crazy.
And my husband has completely cleaned out the house.
Dang, surprise.
He was even so petty that he took the carpet.
I ain't never seen nobody actually take the carpet. This dude must have a PhD in pettiness.
Really? So that's what men doing now? You leave and you start pulling up everything that you paid for?
Nah, bruh, been planning this master plan for 365 days. This didn't just happen.
Wow, guys, I really don't believe this.
You're not telling ghost story. We know you did something to tell us more of this story.
I am a total shock.
This story is getting crazier and crazier by the second.
I have time to process everything and to move my kids' beds out so we could try to start over and get new carpet.
I've seen women clean a house out, but I ain't never seen a man take everything. Woo-wee, this hits different.
He didn't take anything that was the kids or whatever, but I got to sit up and thinking like...
Lady, you're definitely not telling the whole story. You're not telling the whole truth and nothing but the truth. There's more to it, so continue.
My husband don't do no labor.
This would have took me a couple of days to plan this out, so I know this didn't just happen, and I would have needed a moving company. This was a grand scheme.
So for you to sit here and clean out all the carpet, TVs, it was stuff that he brought.
Something happened. He's not just gonna take the carpet up like that. That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to benefiting your kids, you done called up another
You're not telling whole story. We know you did something to tell us more of this story. You're trying to hide something. I'm not dummy. I know you did something here. Tell us truth.
That was able to be like, oh, I'll come over there and I'll come and help you move that stuff, this and the other. You just as much of us is. Like,
there's three sides to every story. Me side, your side, and tell the truth.
and then somebody that just sit around here for over 10 years smiling up in my face.
I really wish people would tell both sides of the story. It's draining.
And you go sit there and help him do something like this, you just as he is.
All right.
From stealing at Walmart to men taking carpets from the house, this country is fighting poverty with pettiness. She's robbing Walmart, he's robbing the living room. Everybody is broke, but everybody's self-aware.
Hey, y'all let me know what you think on this one.
I will never forget the day that I sat in the food stamps office and the lady sat across the desk from me and she said, "We got all your paperwork in order and you qualify." And I cried. And she gave me a card that was an immediate food stamps amount. I don't remember how much it was. And then she said, your regular food stamps card will come in the mail and that will be automatically reloaded with your monthly amount. Mind you, this was my third or fourth visit to the food stamps office where you have to go and sit and wait. And I had to go and sit and wait with kids because I have 6 kids. And I would look over all the paperwork requirements and try so hard to make sure that I got all of the documentation that they needed for everything and bank statements. And I didn't know, like our bank, my husband handled all the bank stuff. And so I had to go find that and print out. Did our printer work? No. Get printed bank statements and get proof of residency. Electricity bill, I didn't know what was our electric company. Where's our electricity bill? I don't know. Some of it's only digital. They don't send bills for everything now because they paperless push. Then I had to provide proof of my own, who I was, my driver's license, and all of my kids. And obviously kids don't have driver's licenses or anything. So we had passports because we had lived overseas. So I think that we had passports, but I may have had to also bring birth certificates. I can't remember. It was so much documentation. And then I had to provide proof of my husband's income. And do you know how hard that is to do when you're self-employed? And he was self-employed and he was a contractor and he was doing all these little jobs. So also he would make a certain amount of money on a job, but his business expenses were so high because he barely charged enough to cover the labor part of what he did, but he had to buy all the supplies out of pocket. So it looked like we were making more than we were. So then I had to provide receipts from Home Depot showing all the things that he was buying as a contractor. And for anyone saying he should have worked harder, that man worked from dawn until dusk. We've had issues in our marriage, but he has always worked his ass to provide for us as a family. And why did we have no savings and debt? Because we were missionaries overseas for 10 years. And he was the pastor of a church plant, so I was a pastor's wife. Did everything right. When I say that I was a trad wife, like, mean that. And I was busy having babies. I had 6 babies, one about every 2 years. I was pregnant and...
How did you enter into this lease agreement with Brian May?
Your Honor, I entered the lease with my landlord, Brian May, and I actually paid up rent in advance. I don't know what's going on here.
When was the last time you paid rent?
I paid up rent on 7/8/2024. I actually have a receipt too. I have kids in the community. That's why I took so much interest in the property.
How much did you pay on July 8th?
Your Honor, I paid Brian May $144,000 in cash.
With cash?
Yes, I did. Cash, Your Honor.
And you've got no receipt?
Yes, I do have receipt.
Judge, Mr. Brian May was involved in drugs. Mr. Miller is charged with being a drug dealer. We suspect this is all just...
Yeah.
Your Honor, there's no... Your Honor, they never received a notice to quit.
Why would you pay $140? I got a question though. $144,000 when your rent monthly payment's only $1,000.
I paid rent up in advance because I have kids in the community, and I took interest in the property because I have kids in the community.
It doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't you just continue to make a $1,000 monthly payment?
That's what me and the landlord put together.
So what's your receipt?
My landlord has a copy.
Hold the receipt up for me.
There you go. His signature is actually on here.
Have you ever seen this receipt?
No, Your Honor. No, it's kind of absurd. The whole thing, the 61-year lease, who's going to pay $144,000 in rent? I question whether Mr. Miller, how he had $144,000. He has an appointed attorney for all these criminal cases. This is just fairy tale stuff.
Okay, so I can't see the whole receipt though. It's the problem.
Here you go, Your Honor.
Slide it over for me from there. Actually, yeah, up vertical like that for me. Maybe that we can do it that way. Let's just see.
I can actually break it into you, Your Honor.
Now, hold on. July 1st. Oh, go pull back a little bit. There you go. July 1st, 2026. 2026. There's that 4. I don't understand what that says from. It's go down now so I can see the other side of it. Just go downward. There you go, just like that. Taji Miller. Where's Brian Miller's May's signature at the top there?
I'm not for sure.
That's it. Well, kinda. Why down below or anything? Why is it at the top of that thing?
I'm not for sure. That's where he signed it.
I gotcha. Where did the money come? Where did you pull the money out from? It's all cash.
Your Honor, I worked a lot of years. I actually been shot in my arm, so right now I'm waiting on disability. But up until 2023, I worked a lot of years. I saved up a lot of money.
And he was in prison.
And I money saved. And to answer the attorney question, my lawyer is Michael Ewan, and there is
Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section.
Going on in this residence at all.
$144,000 in cash rent, no receipt, and a landlord named Brian May. That's not rent. That's a ransom. The judge didn't even know whether to sentence him or sign a lease.
Karen, all seriousness, in my whole 41 years of living, how is it possible that you're pregnant by somebody else? That is not me. I can't have kids.
I wanted a baby.
If I wasn't nonviolent, I would smack the shit out you. That's so disrespectful. In my house? By who?
I wanted a baby.
By who?
I took the only sperm available.
My son?
He's of age. He's 20.
41 years old, can't have kids, and finds out his wife pregnant by his own son. That's not Maury. That's multi-generational madness.
The only reason being a hoe is socially acceptable now is because the government decided that broken homes are very lucrative these days, okay? So they said the whole idea of like the dad going to work, the mom staying at home, doing the domestic labor, the children growing up to, they said, listen, if we can convince everyone to somehow become a worker, right? Like you will fuse the economy all the same, and we can manipulate you out of your social positions, social ideologies, literally everything, right? You will think that competing against a man and a man competing against you is what equality or all of that other good stuff, growth and stuff like that looks like, but it's not, right? Don't think anybody let anybody get shipped out of their position for nothing, and don't think the government is doing anything less than that. So with that being said, just know, if it were in the government's best interest for nuclear families to still exist, they would. And the whole campaign of letting when even the LGBTQ, all of that, it would not exist the way we see it now.
They broke the family for profit, turned the home into a hustle, motherhood into marketing, and the fatherhood into a fine. The government doesn't fix broken home, it funds them.
I'm starting to realize, generally speaking, that men my age are just not attracted to me, or I don't know what it is. I don't really have men my age coming after me, and so I'm wondering why. Not because I plan on changing anything. I'm just genuinely.
The reason that I sleep with guys is because it's the only time I can really feel validation from a man. I mean, my dad, every single day until he died, that I was a failure of a daughter.
So you're getting closure by proving your father's point.
This is Dr. Victor Blaine, a therapist with a 1-star rating on Yelp, which he claims is because his clients can't handle the truth.
Wait. Let me straight. 2 best friends, keyword, best friends, keep that in mind, decide that they're going to go to Jamaica to have some fun and turn up. They arrive to Jamaica only to find out that a hurricane is approaching Jamaica, a category 5 at that. So they're like, wait a minute, I don't think ride this thing out. Let's try to make it back home to our families, right? So the 2 best friends, keep that in mind, decide to look up some flights. They find flights, but the flights are an extra $500 a piece. Now, one of the friends has $500 to go ahead and book the flight. The other friend does not have $500 to book her a flight back home. So we sit and strategize and start reaching out to friends and family to come up with another $500? Or do we keep that $500, stay in Jamaica, ride it out until we are able to safely make it back home on a flight that's more affordable? No, we don't. One of the friends decide that, hey, I got kids, sweetheart. I got to go back home to the of America. And she proceeds to hop on a flight and go back home and leaves her best friend behind in Jamaica to ride out a Category 5 hurricane by herself with no money. That is a diabolical, and that is not best friend energy. Let me tell you something. Best friend energy is, I'm ride or die. Okay, I got your back, you got my back. We come together, we leave together. You broke, and I...
Two best friends go to Jamaica. One leaves, the other fights a Category 5 solo. That's not a friendship. That's fried with a plane ticket. Ride or die? Nah. She rode and left you to die.
Hungry hippo. Look at this guy. He's hungry.
I'm not touching you.
So walk like this?
I'm not touching you.
Walk like this.
I'm not touching you because then you're going to be like, oh, this obviously did this camera's rolling.
Obviously, show
I'm
me.
not touching
So
you. Turn around and walk. Turn around touching you. You understand? I'm not looking at you. I'm not touching you. Fix yourself.
From EBT riots to dating delusion, from carpet theft to court chaos, this is modern America, where accountability is optional and victimhood is viral. Drop a comment if you think the system is broken or if the people are. Let's talk about it.